Welcome everyone, Dr. Thor here, and welcome to Gnosis. The next area I want to cover in this amazing, powerful success tech system is what we call mech tech audios, audio amulets. And I like to use that term, audio amulets. It's a fun term and really describes what they do. Now, I've put together some very powerful energetic systems, energetic informational systems to fill your life with. One of these is the use of what are called audio amulets or mech tech amulets. Now, what happens is we use a traditional DVD CD disc in a traditional type player. These are then, you take the actual disc itself, which is designed to connect you to a stream of empowerment. Again, what's a stream of empowerment? Well, that means it has money energy, success energy, protection, healing. Well, these are all energetic, informational energy fields. They're created through this very unique process that I have developed over the last 50 years of using what's considered sacred geometry and sacred images combined with a whole bunch of other things into a very unique what's called a sigil, which is an image representation of a energy field. So naming something, calling it this and putting a label on it, giving it numbers and other contrived human realities doesn't produce that much. Unless those numbers are made more in a radionic fashion, meaning a group of numbers creates an energetic field, creating a symbol unto itself. It's not the numbers, it's the numbers combined. But that is not a big part of the sigil system. It's using sacred geometry. Certain shapes have energies. So if you have a certain shape, you're going to be able to create a particular energy from it. It has nothing to do with a particular number or belief system. So you put these together and there are every single shape or image is carrying something with it. If you put a way for everybody to understand shape energies is that, or symbol energies, which are kind of mixed, but shape is a little different being three-dimensional in nature. But symbols, meaning the fact is, what does that do? Now, even one-dimensional symbols carry an energy and they can be tested and proven. So when you look at a particular symbol, certain things happen to you. So if you're a Christian and look at a cross, you think of that. There are certain geometric symbols that create energies, plain and simple. So when you look at these things and you go into the deeper aspects of everything, you start understanding and you can test and measure these kind of energies. So here you make an energy that is sitting there on a particular disc. And now there's two ways to use these audio amulets, these mech tech audios. Now, most of the audios will have something on them. They could be talking about the book they are connected to for further information. They could have tones or symbols. These vary greatly depending on the particular tool. Most of them give you further instruction in that area. So if you get a money or success actual mech tech audio, generally it's talking about the book that it is connected to, but it just means that's further information for you. The energy there is money and success, so that's what you're really tapping into, not into that particular book. The particular book talks about a more general energy. So that's very important to understand. So there's two ways to use it. These beautiful little CD containers that come in are physical tools. And what's so nice about them is they're generally inexpensive. They can be carried with you anywhere you go. And they are really beautiful. And part of that is inside is the disc. Now the disc is where the major amount of cumulative energy is placed in. The energetic informational field is on the disc, created by the actual images or sigil that is put on that disc. Now understand, it's not what you see there, it's what's hidden underneath. As with all sigil systems, there are hundreds and hundreds of sigils, images, and implanted data into what looks like a pleasing picture of some sort or another. So it's not that image, it's not that picture that has the energy, it's just put together in an artistic and beautiful fashion. So the disc has that. So what do? Well, the first thing you do is you place your photograph face down on the disc itself in the case and close it. Well, guess what's happened? You're now connected to that energy. To add an extra little power, you write there, like, I want to manifest $10,000. You place your photograph there. Now, let me also make very clear here. For this technology to work best, you have to use a Polaroid or instant camera film. Regular digital photographs are virtually empty of all energies from our tests. There's virtually nothing in them, surprisingly so, because the digital process kind of makes everything look pretty, but takes the energy added to do that looking pretty reality. So what you have to do is you have to make sure that you actually use an energy form to represent yourself. Very important. How do you do that? Well, Polaroid cameras, because of the developer is there, takes the photons, which bounce off the object, brings those photon filled. Now, the photons now, which were empty initially, are coming back into the camera filled with energetic information. Plain and simple. And that is then put into a picture, which now takes an energy field. Yes, you get an image, a mediocre image, as most instant cameras, but you're getting an image there. But it is energetic, informational in nature. Very important. So you have to use that type of camera. Now, I have developed over the past year here a special instant camera, which you should be using. These are lifetime tools, and the investments are minor for huge potential successes. So using any instant camera is not good. It is not part of the system ultimately. You need to get a proper camera. So that you have all your energy, or whatever object you're taking, whether that's a pet, a friend, or even if you want to access energy from a sacred site, or other things, or do remote viewing, or use pendulums on the picture, you need information, and it must be energetic in nature. This is captured in using our very particularly designed systems, which I've tested for 2 or 3 years now. I've tested these cameras, these new ones we're now offering. So you need to get that camera if you want to get the kind of results that everyone desires. See, everybody wants to get fantastic results, but they don't want to make any kind of investment. Now, these are small investments for a lifetime of use. Everything that we offer is basically designed to be used for a lifetime. They're investments, and considering what people spend for handbags, designer clothes, fancy tennis shoes, and expensive meals, and so many other things that people are spending money on by the tens of thousands, these kind of investments are tiny, and they pay off big time. So invest in your energetic life. Bring the proper energy fields to you, and you'll have everything you need. And the cost of these items will never even be thought about again. But you need to use that kind of camera. So you've gathered. So you take that picture, you place it face down on the disc, you place your statement, your affirmation that I have $10,000 now, and you close the case. It's simple as that. Now you can carry this with you, leave it around. There are many other little techniques you can do, but every day you need to pick up that case and think, I have $10,000, and see yourself with that money. You can light a candle and place it on top. You can put it on a radionic machine. There's so many things you can do with our tech. It's just limitless. But, these things become more complicated. You don't have to do that once you have the proper picture in there. The way that this, again, works to send informational energetic fields properly is to use, again, one of our modified players. Now, these modified players, I've spent years, again, researching it. We have empowered these modified players where you put the disc in to play and increase the energy from that disc. Now, when you spin the disc in a machine, you're creating a vortex energy that is being projected through your entire environment and to a large extent even into the universe. So the way you do that is by just simply, and look at how easy this is, people. And I think it's a lot of fun. And these things are works of art. I spent a lot of time designing these things and channeling in, very high level, pure, artistic and spiritual energies. These are little masterpieces of art. So while that's spinning in your player, and you can get a portable player or a whole house unit, you are projecting huge amounts of energy out there. Plain and simple. in your environment and you've done nothing. Well, you do take a picture of yourself and place it on top of the players, face down again, with your quest on top of it. And that's all you do. Boy, that's a lot of work. I hurt my wrist the other day. I carried too many of these Polaroid pictures. So the whole idea is that it can't get any easier then. You're using awesome empowerments, and this is not a mental process. Remember that manifestation doesn't come from concentration. It comes from disconnecting from the goal, allowing your higher self, your inner magical being, to connect to the process. Now, this is something you have to get out of the way. The more you think, the more you let your toxic sewer brain, and that's what it is, that tells you that you were hurt when you're 3 years old, or a negative comment you had yesterday, or you remember supercalifragilisticexpialidocious from Mary Poppins 25 years ago, or what was that? Ooh, it's getting old now. Whenever that was, many, many years ago, well, I can't remember important details I need on other areas. This is the sewer mind. You think that mind is going to manifest for you? Come on, wake up, man. You're living in a fantasy world meat puppet technology by dumb bunkers and idiot skeptics who are paid by the corporations. So the whole idea is that to keep you stupid and ignorant, to keep you down. So you can bridge that by the use of simple and potent technologies. It's all there. Mech Tech audio amulets are fantastic, futuristic, 25th century off-world technology. You're never going to find anything as simple and as potent as these. They work, and they work well. And depending on what you're trying to manifest and what your reality is, you will see the fastest manifestation that you've ever had with the least amount of work. Isn't that what life is all about? And it's here and it's now, and you can use it for a minor investment. And we have Mech Tech audio amulets available for everything. You collect these, you use them. When you have a problem, you're not feeling good, you want to clear your environment out. Maybe you come home from a very stressed day living in this plague world. Put your clearing and healing Mech Tech audio amulet on there, and it's going to vibrate your entire environment, and it's going to bring up all of these subtle energy fields, which ultimately determine your wealth, your health, and your well-being in a spiritual and physical reality. It's all there in a simple, easy technology that you just have to turn on. This is not about listening to audios. It has nothing to do with that. The sound has nothing to do with it. Some have sounds, some don't. Some have tones on them, and you can listen to them if you want. But, that's really bringing it down to a conscious level again. This is not about consciousness. This is not on concentrating, making it happen. You're concentrating, making it fail. Your mind is trying to manifest something. It is impossible for the mind to manifest. What manifests is your higher self, your inner magical being. This has been demonstrated time and time again, not only by myself, but any really noted researcher notes that when you disconnect from the process, even give up on it, just don't bother with it, don't think about it, putting out the sewer mind again, what happens is very simple. Everything manifests. But as long as you're blocking the process, and we all do to a certain degree, but as you get past these things, once you let go and let things manifest, this is when everything starts to happen. It is not complicated. It's so easy and so strange and so weird that actually letting something happen makes it happen, that we don't get it. Because in general, inactivity produces nothing in our rigid material world. And this is true. You don't go to school, you don't get the training, you can't get the certificate, the graduation, etc. So all this is what's happening in this world to make things work for everyone. But that is not the reality that we need to live in. Yes, that's part of reality, the physical understanding, but what really manifests at high levels is disconnecting from the process. Let the higher self, the higher energies work for you, and the manifesting will be amazing. This is one of our many very potent tools that everyone should be using.